Welcome into Sports Tonight. Sports Director Bailey Burmaster here for you on this Monday edition of Sports Tonight. We got a lot of football to cover. Football is finally back here in Georgia. Lots of college teams kicking off their camps this week. We'll get to hear from Georgia on Thursday as they get things underway. However, for Georgia Tech, they continued with fall camp on this Monday. The Yellow Jackets are now just under 4 weeks to get ready for their season opener against Florida State. Our Emily Gagnon was there and has the latest from their practice.
It's week 2 of fall camp on Georgia Tech's campus. The Yellow Jackets got started before other teams in the state since they play a week before everyone else on August 24th in Ireland against FSU. Now, if quarterback Haynes King can limit turnovers, the Jackets have a real chance at a solid season. King says in year 2, he hopes to be a better leader. But what about his teammates? Do they think that's what he's doing?
Even though I'm on defense, I see what he's doing over there. And I see him talking to the team, and I see him getting those guys ready. I can hear him when I'm going by. So he has stepped up being a leader. In my opinion, he's always was a leader.
King and running back Jamal Haynes found out today they're on the Maxwell Award watch list. The juniors are 2 of 80 players nationwide being recognized ahead of the season for an honor given to the Player of the Year.
I remember when Jamal got here, he was playing receiver, now he's playing running back. Just great teammate, great guy, works really hard. And so it's nice to see him get kind of the reward for all that hard work, for sure.
Interesting thing about Haynes, at this time last year during fall camp, he switched from receiver to running back. It paid off. He was Tech's first 1,000-yard rusher in 5 years. Reporting from Georgia Tech's campus, Emily Gagnon, Atlanta News First.
So they will gear up for that showdown in Dublin. Ironically enough, Georgia Tech's punter David Shanahan is from Ireland, and he spoke with media about being from Ireland and how much he's had to talk about it over the years, if he's tired of it. He says he kind of goes on autopilot a little bit, but he's trying to embrace it and he's looking forward to it. People back home probably looking for tickets to go to that one. It should be a fun way for the Yellow Jackets to open up the season. But let's go to hear from the rest of the squad from their camp practice on Monday.
Being able to be in the room with them and kind of see what they can do personally on the field, individually. Like, obviously, last year I was able to kind of look over at everybody and still could do that this year as well. But just knowing their temperament, their mental, and what they do best at and putting them in the best position. So it does help out a little bit.
How has the division of responsibilities changed? I know that with the ability to have more guys coach hands-on, it's always kind of that pull and push with the special teams and coaching defense for you. Just how's that working now, and kind of how do you divide that stuff?
Well, I got a lot of good help. Coach Salem obviously helps with special teams, with the specialists and different things like that. And then I also have Coach Tanner Kottman, who does a really good job with the cornerbacks. He knows the defense. He was with Coach Santucci over at Duke. So, him coming in was, instrumental in helping me develop as well, knowing the system. And so he does a good job helping out with that. So what I can't do or what I don't have time doing with the corner position, he kind of takes over that, and vice versa with Coach Salem. So it's a good mix of those guys helping out and us putting it together.
Dominic Blaylock was a really reliable punt returner for you guys last year. How have y'all gone about trying to replace him, and what have you seen from that group so far?
Yeah, Dom, I miss Dom, man. He was, steady Eddie, caught every single return, and he was trustworthy back there. He was pretty good in getting north and south, but right now we got Rodney Shelley back there returning punts. We got Malik. We got Bailey Stockton back there returning punts as well, and a couple other guys, and those guys do a really good job. They are more electric. You know what I mean? Those guys are more, hey, watch out. They get the ball in open space, watch out. And that's nothing against my man, but, I think these guys are a little bit faster, a little more electric, and I think we're going to be pretty good in the punt return game.
How do you recognize in someone that they might be able to help you on special teams?
Seeing them during just team and seeing how they play in team. A lot of times in the drills, you see them do the drills, whatever drill it is, the cones and the cans and all of those things, and tackling a donut. But when it's teamwork, when it's team run, and you actually see somebody fitting up and setting the edge, and you see somebody actually coming in and putting their face in there, making a tackle, that sets them apart. And so somebody may look good running during the drills and, call it underwear Olympics when they're out there working in the summer and all that other stuff like that. They look good during that, but we got to see what they do in team. And a lot of things right now in the beginning is a lot of drill work. And so we do a lot of drill work. And then once the live team things come in, now I see, okay, he can tackle. He can tackle in space. He's more of a box tackler. He can run and tackle. He can do, you know what I mean? And so then I start seeing who can do what once we do all of these team reps, offense against defense.
Now, I know you don't coach Haynes King directly, but during ACC Media Days, he said he's working on being a better leader. Have you seen that from him in the amount of time you guys have spent together?
Yeah, I have. You know what I mean? He's always telling the guys, come on up. I see him talking to the offense. Even though I'm on defense, I see what he's doing over there. And I see him talking to the team, and I see him getting those guys ready. I can hear him when I'm going by. So he has stepped up being a leader. In my opinion, he's always was a leader. I think he's a little more vocal this year. And I think that's what he's doing now is being more vocal. So that's what I've seen on my end. Even when we're doing other things, special teams and stuff like that, I think he's being more vocal with the guys.
How crucial is that for a guy like him to do that?
It's really crucial because, being a quarterback, everybody looks for that guy to lead. It's kind of like the stereotypical leader of the team. But not all of them are leading on and off the field. And so a lot of problems come when they lead and they talk on the field and they try to gather everybody up in the team setting, but when they go in the locker room, they're a whole different person. And he's not that person. You know what I mean? He's a leader on and off the field, and I think once you do that, the players around you really truly buy in. And that's what I've seen from him, not just on the field, but in the locker room and walking by in the meeting rooms and different things like that. I've seen him be even more vocal of a leader.
Yeah, I think the number one thing's probably I got more school to do. But number two, we got a good thing going. We got a program, I think, that's heading in the right direction, and it was a lot of fun last year, and I'm hoping we can have more fun this year.
What has it been like? You've had some different special teams coaches now, having Ricky back, but also having Coach Salem and some new faces there. What does that kind of change practice like for you?
Yeah, I think, we're still working hard. Coach Salem's got us working really hard, which is a good thing. And having that consistency with Coach Brumfield, just kind of scheme-wise, and same thing as last year, we don't have to spend as much time doing install, I think helps a lot for the group.
How much are you talking with David about Ireland? How much are people teasing him about Ireland? Or is it a constant Ireland discussion with David?
Yeah, I think he's answered a lot of questions about that. And, he's excited, but it's also probably we're just waiting for it and hoping it'll get here sooner rather than later at this point.
I'd like to ask you about Jamal Haynes. You've been with the team for some time now. How have you seen him grow? He made the Maxwell Award watch list today along with your quarterback, so obviously a place you want to be before the season starts, but just how have you seen him change throughout the years?
Yeah, I remember when Jamal got here, he was playing receiver, now he's playing running back. Just great teammate, great guy, works really hard. And so it's nice to see him get kind of the reward for all that hard work, for sure.
You guys have your operation back from last year. How much comfort is there in having that experience with David, snapping to David and snapping for Aiden?
It's huge. Consistency is the biggest thing with that. Just kind of having the three of us working all summer, all winter, dialing it in, just working on the consistency, doing it as many times as we can over and over. It's huge to have the same group back, and you know all the rhythms, know all the kind of quirks, and you just keep going. Do it again.
So I'll ask, what are you working on in school? What did you come back to do?
With my degree? Yeah. So after we finish walkthrough, I race over to the lab. Everyone grabs a nap, and I'm fabricating electrodes over there in the lab. Trying to get stuff done, hurried before practice starts, and then practice ends, and I got to go check on whatever I made and make sure nothing's leaking or going wrong, and then just trying to kind of please everybody a little bit.
So what would you get? What's the end game, I guess, for when you graduate with your?
When I'm done, there's a lot of opportunities with tech. You can pretty much do whatever you want after that. Industry, academia, maybe a startup, probably something in industry, I think, for me. But a lot of opportunities for sure.
you were talking about knowing the quirks of the kickers, and is Aiden a guy that likes to take his time back there, or does he like to get lined up and go at it?
Aiden wants to go. He's waiting on the line to get down. He, wants to get it off as soon as we can. No need to, wait. We know what we're doing. We just want to go out and get it done.
Anything else?
Appreciate y'all. Yeah, thank you.
Just kind of go on autopilot and give everyone the same answer at this stage, but no, it's fun, honestly. I mean, we only have like 4 more weeks of it, so just trying to embrace it for what it is and looking forward to it.
Are people back home talking it up now with you already, or?
Yeah, they are. I got people popping up out of the woodwork that I haven't spoken to in 10 years looking for tickets. So, yeah, I'm getting hit up a lot. I just put my dad in charge of all the tickets, so don't have to worry about it anymore. But yeah, the excitement's definitely building.
Is there someone among that group, though, that you're really excited to see you play that's maybe never gotten to see you live?
Yeah, like my whole family's never been at one game together. Like they've all been here, like my brothers will come out and my parents will come out, just work schedules or whatever. So having them all in the one place and coming to see me will be pretty cool. That'll be a lot of fun, for sure.
Is there like any one thing that you're like wanting to get to do while you're there in your brief time when you go back? Or show your teammates?
Honestly, probably the Irish breakfast. I think it's so good. You don't really get it over here. There's pub Photos in Midtown. It's an Irish pub. They do pretty well, but that's definitely something I'm looking forward to. I'm talking to Erin, our nutritionist, about it as well. And she said there'll be an Irish breakfast. So.
Right next to you.
All right, so for someone who's actually going to be making the trip, what is one thing they absolutely have to do?
One thing, I would say the Guinness Storehouse, honestly. It's a lot of fun there. It's really cool getting to see what's made, and it's kind of like best view of Dublin's at the very top of it, so I definitely recommend that.
Right?
Do enough people over there know you that they'll be pulling for one team over the other?
I'm hoping they do at this stage, yeah. Wearing their white and gold, yeah.
So have you been in Avia Stadium, and have you checked out a game there before for the other football?
That's where they play the rugby and the soccer usually. So I've never actually been to a game there, but we flew over there last July. A couple of us flew over, so we were on the field there. So, but I mean, I've known about it. I've watched so many games on TV from there, so it's pretty cool getting to play there.
Any kicking related questions for David?
Sure. Coach Brumfeld said that you've been hitting the ball better and more consistent. I know that's been sort of the struggle throughout your time, is just always being consistent. Sometimes you kick the crap out of it. Sometimes it's a little less. How do you find that consistency? Is there anything that particularly you've worked on there?
I think it's just a natural progression of, coming in as a freshman, never having played before. It's always going to be probably the toughest thing is consistency, because you don't have anything really to fall back on. So I was always going to come. It was just going to take time. It's just natural progression, really. Just been here for 3 years now, going on the 4th year. So I'm looking forward to it. It's going well so far.
Anything else? Colin?
It seems like from the bits of practice we get to watch, Coach Salem works you guys pretty consistently and a lot more intensely than maybe in the past. Would that be accurate?
Yeah, that would be accurate. I think I've done more sit-ups in the last 3 days than I've probably done in 3 years here. But it's fun. I think he coached tight ends for most of his career, so he kind of brings that mentality, and it's kind of like a hybrid of tight ends and specialists. So it's fun. It keeps us busy, anyways. So.
Elsewhere, football continues. The Falcons will head into their second week of training camp. Back at it tomorrow around 9 a.m. in Flowery Branch. Saturday night was actually the first time Falcons fans had the chance to watch Kirk Cousins in action. He signed a 4-year, $180 million contract in March. And it was the first time they got to see him play in person. There was a lot of construction still going on in Flowery Branch, so fans were not allowed to attend the regularly training camp practices that they would, but they're hosting a pair of off-site sessions, with Saturday night being the first. That one was at in Buford. The next one will be this Friday at the Benz. So a lot of fans looking forward to that. They brought a lot of energy, and players responded with about a 1 hour and 45-minute session, followed by some signing of the autographs. So it was the first time they also got to see Michael Penix Jr., and there was a lot to see. Cousins was really sharp, 13 of 14 charted passes. He went 4-4 against Atlanta's starting defense, hitting new receiver Darnell Mooney and Drake London. He did throw an interception to linebacker Troy Anderson, but the play was blown dead due to what would have been a sack. So tight end Kyle Pitts was a target, about 4 targets from Cousins, something fans would love to see as they were begging to get Kyle Pitts more involved last season. In the red zone, Cousins went 2 for 2, hitting receiver Ray McLeod in the back left corner. He may have gone out of bounds, but they called it a touchdown. So there's a lot to like with Cousins, and then behind him, Michael Penix Jr., who was obviously always going to be the backup, and Taylor Heineke would be number 3 if they decide to keep 3 quarterbacks after training camp is said and done and they start making cuts. But Penix, meanwhile, went 6 of 10 overall. He missed the first 2 passes, but followed with a well-placed hole shot with 6th-round rookie Casey Washington. So there's a lot to continue to watch. You'll have to join us tomorrow to see the latest as we get back underway with the Falcons. But they did announce the signing of a new veteran receiver, James Washington. He spent 4 years with Pittsburgh and had 114 catches for 1,629 yards and 11 touchdowns over those 4 years. But he was coached by Ike Hillard, who is now Atlanta's receivers coach. So obviously likes him a lot and thinks he might be good with Kirk Cousins. He did a lot at Oklahoma State, including winning a Biletnikoff. So definitely someone to watch, and I'm sure we'll get to hear from as the week goes on. But let's hear the latest from the Falcons as they talked to media over the last couple days.
Yeah, so getting back in the swing of things, it's been great.
What are you kind of coming into hoping to accomplish? I know it's early, but what do you kind of look forward to goals-wise?
We're just getting started. We're still getting things going, getting the playbook, getting our techniques right, and because it's a different scheme from what we did here last year, but it's just kind of getting things going. Yeah.
Are there any young rookies we should be on the lookout for? Anyone impressive so far?
Every single one of them. You just gotta have your eyes out, and you see them show out for sure. Yeah.
We were talking to some of the guys. Just who are you rooming with?
So it's actually me, Grady, and Street.
Okay.
And TQ.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think are you like one of the young ones in the group? Or are you like the younger one?
No, I'm not.
You're not?
I'm not.
So what is we were talking to the guys just about like the snack situation, like what they're.
Oh yeah, they got us squared up already. Yeah, we got snacks in our room already. They went and got it.
What's a must
yesterday?
snack for you?
I don't really mind. Yeah, I really don't mind.
What are you personally just trying to work on in camp? What else can you do to get better?
For me, basically, I take it the same way every year. You got to come in with a blank slate to basically improve on everything. You can't come off, think about coming off last year, because last year was a completely different year. So I feel like every year you got to come in with the same mindset to learn, basically on every phase, like if it's a run or the pass. So that's my approach towards it.
What's it been like working with a new defensive coordinator?
It's great, just getting going. We were here during OTAs. At first, we got these little hand drills, and at first it kind of looked like it looked really bad the first day. But just doing it and working on that, today we kind of finished our practice with that. You can kind of see the improvement with that as well. Yeah.
How's Coach Rogers been as a position group coach for you guys?
He's been great. He's been great. He's coached the position for a long time. He's coached for a long time. He's got the reputation as well, in the league. So, and just picking his mind as well with certain things, and just his approach to certain things he sees out there, and how he goes through his thinking. Yeah.
It's interesting because this is I believe, the first time that you and Caden have had a significant change as a defensive coordinator, because y'all obviously came from the Saints, had the same guys in the same system, and now there's somebody coming in from the outside. I'm curious kind of what you've learned about yourself as you've gone through this new part of install with a new person.
Well, it's just being a sponge. You can never you don't know what the next day holds. You got to be ready to absorb information, and I think that's the biggest thing. You know.
How much are you looking forward to just having fans tomorrow?
Where we at tomorrow?
Oh, are you?
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, so yeah. But I think that would be great.
Yeah.
You know, just being out there, you know, having the fans see the team for, I guess, the first time. OTAs are kind of close, so that would be pretty good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It's not that far away, by the way.
Awesome.
You gotta worry about Trad's not far. Yeah, it's a new school. So
All right, no problem. You know, it's just the energy and the intensity he brings to the field, you know, and his IQ as well. You know, it's not in. Come to think about how I put it, it's hard to not have that kind of person out there, and having him out there, you know, he's gonna chip in certain things, and things, you know, what he sees out there, what, you know, we see as a group, we just communicate through that, and it's, you know, it's great having him out there.
It looked like y'all were bonding, starting to kind of, you know, before he went down last year, it looked like it was looking really good in there together.
Yeah.
What's going to be the work y'all got to put in to get back to that level?
Definitely, it's gonna be just like going from the foundation. Basically, you know, we have to kind of start over again because we're in a different scheme. Yeah, so there's gonna be other people in there. We're just gonna have to work as a group. That's gonna be the big thing. Basically, with every group, because we could have different rotations and have different people out there. So it'll be really nice. We have everybody working on the same, you know, on the same level.
Feel great, you know, being back with the guys and going to work every day. Right now we're in the little honeymoon stage, but you know, once we get about a week or two in, that's where the real test is on, you know, locking in on the details and, you know, finding our DNA in the team and, you know, trying to go win the ship.
You mentioned the honeymoon phase, but how's the vibe kind of different than this time last year?
It's real good. You know, the vibe is always perfect when you're coming back off the off season. Everybody ready to work, and you know, we got a lot of new faces, and you know, it's just a new locker room. It's a lot of new things going on, so you know, the vibe is great.
I feel like we've been hearing about a new energy with like the new coaching staff, just like a different vibe in general. Is that something you picked up on?
Yeah, the coaches. You know, Rod always bringing the energy. You know, defense coordinator, really everybody. You know, we all just trying to build the chemistry and then, you know, get everything down in the details going into the season.
I know it's day one, but speaking of that chemistry, having another corner beside you, that's kind of up for grabs right now. What's that kind of been like for you?
Just going in every day, just helping everybody. You know, we got a lot of guys that we trust, and whoever we put out there is definitely somebody we all trust and believe in to get the job done. So it's my job to also help and, you know, make sure everybody got the things down, the play sheet and all the calls, and, you know, make sure we're moving fast.
What's Jimmy Lake like in team meetings?
He's great. You know, he get everybody involved early on, you know, and then he got the serious phase, you know, where he get everybody locked in on details and having us ready to go and be prepared for practice and, you know, for games to come.
Is it hard to kind of pull back on day one? Like, you're so excited to be here that you're like, just let it
rip.
Yeah,
like, I swear, it's always like that every year. Sleeping in the dorms, you don't really get no sleep. I'm locking in on the playbook all night, waking up early, making sure I don't miss my alarm, all those type of things. You're just ready to just get out here and, you know, and perform.
How are you feeling having Grady back?
Oh, we love having Grady back. You know, just we missed him last year for, you know, once he went down, and we watched him work and prepare himself for camp and getting right. So, you know, we as a whole defense and team overall, we're definitely happy he's back.
What's your favorite part about this time of year and your least favorite part about this time of year?
Favorite part of time is being back with the guys and stuff like that and just getting ready for the whole season. Least favorite is, that's easy, probably just being away from family. You know, of course, you know, once we get started, we all in to February.
Is there any?
Talk about a lot of news. Just come back, seeing a new locker room, a new workout area. What does that do for just you guys as
Yeah, it does a lot. You know, it brings a different energy in the building. You know, everybody happy to be at work, happy to experience new things. The cafeteria, the locker room, the weight room. You know, all those little things mean a lot to us players being in there, and we appreciate the organization for definitely doing that. So, you know, it means a lot.
AJ, Coach said that they're trying to be really intentional about making early in camp kind of a mental ramp-up period. Have you felt that this year, kind of relative to some of the other camps you've been a part of?
It's always like that. You know, once you come in, they always trying to just make sure we hone in on the details before we come in flying and ready to go. But they know we ready to go, so you know we'll be at it tomorrow. It's part of every camp process of just trying to, you know, come in and get everything going, get your body right, get everything flowing, get the pace of practice, and then we'll turn it up.
How much of you now being the guy that shares with the young guys? It seemed like it wasn't that long ago that you were here picking the brains of the veterans.
Yeah, it's great. You know, just how the roles switched, and it happened quick. So, like I said before, I feel like that role with me started when I really want to say a rookie, but definitely that second year. Just being able to give knowledge to the younger guys or even the older guys, and being able to pick off their brain what they got from me too. So all those things is what make the team better, the defense better, and ultimately yourself. So it's huge.
Going off of that, are there any kind of rookies that you're really excited to see in action, or anyone that we should kind of be watching out for?
I want to see our D-line. I want to see the whole D-line get active. You know, we was heavy on the D-line this year, and I just want to see, you know, all those boys get active. They all been looking good out here, you know, following the pace of practice and making plays and running to the ball and asking questions and things like that. So I'm definitely happy to see them get active.
Who are you bunking with? Who's your roommate, and what are you kind of learning about him?
Who's my roommates?
Yeah.
Oh, I got the DBs. It's me, Mike Hughes, Clark Phillips, and D. Alfred.
First to get up? Like, who's kind of, what are you learning about them? Snacks, first to get up? Is there a rule?
Yeah, Clark he an early bird. He going to bed at 9, stuff like that. I'm trying to get on his wave, but everybody else, you know, we all be to ourselves. I ain't gonna lie. You know, we see each other all day. We might just go in there and just kick it, talk to the fam for the little amount of time we got, and get ready for the next day.
AJ, how would you describe your leadership style, and how has it evolved since you've been in the league?
Yeah, I'm more, you know, I'm lead by example. You know, do my thing, hold myself accountable, and make plays. You know, ultimately, you know, that's mainly my style.
Who brought in the NCAA 25 game?
Say it again.
Who brought in the NCAA 25?
Who brought in? What you mean by that?
Who brought in the college football video game?
Did anyone bring it to
Oh, nobody brought it yet. It's on the way. It's on the way. We got it in the locker. We finna get it in the locker room and hopefully the dorm. But it's like it's a win-lose situation, because once we get on it, we ain't gonna get off.
Okay, before we get you out of here, let's recap some of the Olympic coverage we've had and where teams have ended up. So we'll start with gymnastics. The U.S. took bronze. That's the team's first medal in this event for 16 years. That's wild. Definitely a big one for that. Brody Malone, someone who is actually from Georgia. U.S. women's basketball team defeated Japan in its first Olympic game in Paris, 102-76. Team USA is the defending champion and stacked with some of the best players in the WNBA. So looking for their 8th gold in a row. Also have to talk about skateboarding, a very fun event if you did not watch it. America was able to take home the silver and the bronze in skateboarding. Don't forget, surfing is also making its second Olympics at the Paris Games. However, that is in Tahiti, so another really fun aspect to turn into. But that will do it for this edition of Sports Tonight. Make sure to join us throughout the week. We'll have all the latest on the Falcons, the Georgia Bulldogs, and keep you posted on what's going on in the Olympics. But that does it for tonight. Have a great night.